Like most of our staff here, heck, like most of you, actually, I have been working from home since, I don't know, March, something like that. It has been so long since I've actually been in my office. There's still a sign on the door that says, if the door is closed, I'm pumping. Talk to my assistant, Lisa, if you need any help. And my son is now 15 months old, so that ship has sailed. That's how long it's been since I've really been in my office. Now, of course, I've dashed in there, quickly before services here, over the past several months, but I haven't spent a lot of time in my office until this past week. I had just a stack of certificates I had to sign, lots of B'nai Mitzvah, actually. And I decided just to sit down and just pound it out, just do them all. Download some files from my computer while I was there too, trying to get some housekeeping done. It was eerily quiet. It was really quiet. It's rarely quiet normally, you have to understand. Now, people often wonder, I get asked this, what do you even do, if it's not Shabbat? Like, why do we even need to be in the synagogue? Well, we're really busy here, actually, during the week. We're really busy. I always would keep my door open. I could hear and see a lot of stuff. My office was a catty corner to the printer, so I got all the action on my end. I could hear my assistant Lisa, she'd be on the phone. I could hear, Sarah Kaiser talking to all the B'nai Mitzvah families, all very nervous but very excited, and they would be coming and going for their lessons and tutoring. Abby would come by, she had some certificates she had to pick up that they were being printed out. Jennifer Rosenzweig, she'd be dashing back and forth what seemed like constantly past my door, which was really helpful for me because as the program director, she's basically my partner in crime, and I worked with her on so many programs and projects, so often I'd be like, oh wait, Jennifer. Oh, no, wait, Jennifer. She just kind of got used to it. She knew if she's walking by my door, I was going to stop her. Andy would often be coming down to tell somebody, I don't know what to do. He's the executive director, so he's pretty in charge down there. Nicole would be coming down all the time to remind us to stay in budget, which is very difficult. Rabbi Morgan, Rabbi Strauss, I would see them all the time going to and from meetings and other offices on the other end. Of course, I shared a wall with the cantor, so it wasn't very quiet on my end, though I have to say is he up there? No, he's not listening, that's good. It was nice though, I could hear him play piano, because that wall is not so thick, but it was nice, because I got some live music during my work day. And now it's all gone. It's gone. And as I got into my car in the empty parking lot, and I was driving towards the gate, I thought about all these folks I just don't see anymore. I used to see these folks all day, every day, and now I don't see them anymore. And it made me think about all of my plans, all of our plans. Y'all, we had such plans for the rest of the year. Passover, I was going to lead the second night Seder with the cantor. That was going to be so cool. I had a whole series for young families. It was going to be the kids would all be babysat in one place. So if you, for new parents like myself, you never get time to just be with your spouse and other adults, and it would be that opportunity. The kids would be taken care of, you could be with the adults. It was going to be great. We had My Shabbat, we had PJ Havdalah, we had all the religious school family engagement programs, we had Shabbat services with BYDS, stuff for young professionals. Last year, my end of the year event had 60 young professionals. We were going to meet or exceed that this year. Weddings and we're going to do and being there for brisses and namings and all those great things. We had such plans this year. And as I was driving up to the gate, and it opens very slowly, it really struck me, how much I love my job and how much I miss my job. And how very, very sad I am not to be able to do it. Not the way I or any of us had planned. And it's not that I'm unhappy now. That would be untrue to say, and I don't want you to think that I am. I'm really glad to be able to do the things that we're able to do now, virtually and on Zoom and very, very small groups here. I am glad, but maybe it's because I have been running around like a chicken with her head cut off. So busy running around. I haven't really let myself feel that loss, the loss of the life that I had planned on having like so many of us. So when it struck me, it struck hard and it hurt. It hurts. I feel sad and I feel raw. And when I let myself feel these feelings, I feel so sad. Jewish tradition teaches we have to let ourselves do that, though. We have to let ourselves feel all those feelings. As painful as they are, we have to mourn loss. It's why we try to pile all of our historic hurts onto one day a year. Historically accurate or not, doesn't matter. We're not talking about that part. But we designate Tisha B'Av as the day of Jewish mourning, a day to mourn the historic losses for our people. We fast, a major fast. It's the only other one other than Yom Kippur, from the end of the day, sundown, to nightfall. The only other major fast is Tisha B'Av. And we listen to Eicha, to Lamentations, and there is not a more mournful dirge that has been written. It's constant, and it just hits you over and over how sad it is. The words aren't even the only sad thing about it. My eyes overflow with tears, we chant in Eicha. My heart is in anguish, is what Lamentations is full of. And it's just that over and over for 5 chapters. But the tune of Eicha, if you've never heard it, you got one chance a year to hear it. It cuts you. It's so sad. But after Tisha B'Av is over and our fast is broken and the sad tunes are put away till next year, then what? Then what? It's all very well and good to tell us to let ourselves be sad, Jewish tradition. Thank you for the permission to feel all these feelings that I'm feeling, but what do I do now? Well, you get today. The Shabbat following Tisha B'Av is known as Shabbat Nachamu, the Shabbat of consolation. Nachamu, Nachamu Ami. Comfort, oh comfort, my people, says your God, are the first words of the Haftarah for the Shabbat of consolation, this one today. We just heard them chanted beautifully by Michael Lewis. God is telling us, yes, sometimes life is sad. Sometimes we feel sad. We feel sad and angry and frustrated and lonely. So much so that we fear we may break from it. And that the world is unrelentingly difficult, that we suffer from disease, yes, of course, we all know, and racial hatred and religious hatred and bigotry and poverty, and all of the plans. We had so many great things that were going to happen. God, we had weddings and B'nai Mitzvah, and we had college graduations and the first day of kindergarten, and babies being born that grandparents can't hold. Oh God, we say, we had such plans. Nachamu, Nachamu Ami, God says to us. After we've cried our tears, take comfort. God is reminding us that taking comfort, that allowing ourselves to be comforted is a Jewish value. It's not selfish. It's not self-indulgent. It's not weak. It doesn't make us weak. It's Jewish, and it's godly, for did not God self-command us to do so? My friend and mentor, Rabbi Nicole Guzik, reminded me that the rabbis of the Talmud taught 3 things: ease the mind, the troubled mind, and whose mind isn't troubled these days? A pleasant sound, a pleasant sight, and a pleasant smell. We are commanded by God to seek comfort and when we are troubled. So try, the Talmud suggests, finding something that you enjoy listening to, that you enjoy seeing, and that you enjoy smelling. Really. Try to make that list in your mind. When I think of a pleasant voice, I think of finding like a new voice to listen to. You know, so many of us are at home all day. We hear the same voices all day, every day. Sometimes just a new voice helps. I talked to an old friend recently, and we have one of those, we should talk. Oh, yeah, no, I'll call you. Oh, I'll call you. It's been literally years. It might be years. So I just called her, and we talked for 45 minutes. My time becomes much freer once my baby goes to bed. 45 minutes. And it was refreshing because when I heard her voice, I kind of was brought back to good memories, and I just got to hear from someone new, and it was pleasant, and it was comforting. A pleasant sight, the Talmud suggests. I like changing my scenery. I will just get in the car, and I'll drive by myself, and I will feel infinitely better, especially if I can see trees, and especially if I can be myself when I see that new sight. Pleasant smells. Now, it seems maybe silly, but honestly, smell is considered to be one of the strongest triggers for memory and emotion. So what smells bring you joy? Fresh cinnamon rolls? It's a classic. Sea breeze? That takes me back to a good childhood place. When I smell my son's hair after a bath, and he just smells like a baby again, it's joy. It's machaya. Feeling sad over loss, even after enduring that loss for a long time or a long time ago, it's not self-indulgent and it's not selfish according to Jewish tradition. It's why we have a whole day to feel sad over things that happened thousands of years ago. Taking comfort when we're sad is not self-indulgent or selfish. It's why we have Shabbat Nachamu today, a day dedicated to comforting ourselves and making sure others take their comfort. So find some pleasant sounds, some pleasant sights, and some pleasant smells for yourself, and take comfort, because this journey that we are on is a long one. Nachamu, Nachamu, Ami, comfort, oh comfort, my people. Shabbat Shalom.